All right, lots to discuss. I am sorry I've been MIA the past few days with the video lessons, but I'm just going to put it all in tonight's video lesson. Um, there's a lot, so bear with me. Um, Before I get into this, let me just tell you, we have our holiday sale. This will end on January 1st, so you have 2 weeks to capture these savings. And a lot of you guys are asking me because, I've mentioned on a few webinars that we're increasing the price. If you're already a subscriber, there's no increase, but for next year, there's going to be some increases because we're getting a lot of people who just want hot stock picks. They don't want to learn, and we need to weed those people out. So it's been a few years since I increased Tim Alerts and Penny Stocking Silver. These are the only two newsletters that we're increasing prices on. So I highly suggest that you take advantage of these sales because this is not only the last time you will get this sale, but even when we do, the increase in 2016, you will never see these prices ever again. So you have 2 weeks to lock them in. And I'm really looking forward to, more quality students, more dedicated students rather than, having so many people who just want hot picks. It drains me. I get so many questions from people who are literally just trying to pay back their rent, and those people should not be trading. So we're going to try and weed them out in 2016, and I'm also going to be offering a whole bunch of new features, not just for Tim Alerts or Penny Stocking Silver, but also for my trading challenge. And I'll talk about that later. But just so you know, this is the final opportunity that you can get this sale. So I highly suggest you take it. And then also, these DVDs are 45, 50, 70% off. So I highly, highly suggest that you take advantage of these sales because, it's the holidays. We want to give the gift of knowledge and experience to you, and I think that's great. So starting today, let us talk about, I have a lot of tweets that I've tweeted today and just my thinking of what's going on. And I got to start with this. Lots of failed spikers today. It's freaking a lot of people out just with one day when some stocks don't spike. Calm down, okay? You're not going to have perfect plays every single day. And as I was telling my trading challenge students on the webinar today, it's okay. It's okay. All you have to do is, have the right mindset, cut losses, or break even, and that's basically what I did today. I broke even, and I wasn't even tempted to trade the rest of the day because everything I saw was so choppy. And some days are going to be like that. A lot of you guys are spoiled from the bull market thinking that there's going to be plays every single day, and that's just not true. Some days you don't need to trade, and today was a choppy day, and it's okay. But I got to give props to a few people. Dean Plug was one of the ones that tried to morning spike. He bought it at 228, sold it at 233, made $90. That's the best case scenario with Plug, with this failed spiker. Let me pull it up real quick. Here was Plug. It had the little morning spike attempt. It was a multi-week breakout. If you look here, the resistance was right here at 223. So all pre-market, it was at 240-ish, and it came down to the 220s, and I thought that it would hold this breakout. And it kind of has, but not perfectly and not well. When it tried to morning spike, it could not get back to 237, let alone 240, and be a real threat to have a morning spike. JRJC was another one. This one tried to have a morning spike right here at the market open, and it went from basically 630 to 680 and straight back down. And it tried to have a midday spike too. So there was another one. Oh, ARRY. I guess I should get rid of the extended hours so you can see the morning spike attempt. So, this one dropped right at the open, and then it was an attempted morning spike here. So there's a common theme. It's okay. Don't freak out. Dean, good job on picking the exact top here. Darius was in at 229 out of 235. And again, these are not gains to brag about. These are up 6 cents, 4 cents, whatever. The point is that when a morning spike fails, you protect yourself and you have a small gain or break even or a small loss. And it's okay as long as you keep doing that with the right mindset. Plug had a good catalyst. Their Seeking Alpha deal or article with Nike, it's not a new deal. So I knew it wasn't going to be like a huge gain, but I thought it could run. It's okay when it doesn't run. Just exit roughly break even. And Rich was in JRJC, in at 609, out at 625. So again, nothing huge. There will be days like this. There will be trades like this. Mama said, and it's okay. Let me talk about another tweet right here. This is a very important tweet to me because a lot of people claim to know like how to create millionaires or how to make millions. And, this is kind of my expertise. This is what I do. I made millions long before I ever started teaching. And now I have more millionaire students than anybody else. And what I have found is that you don't have to be a genius. You don't have to be superior at math. You just have to work hard. And working hard is not necessarily working hard like manual labor or like mowing the lawn or washing dishes. I get, emails and messages on all social networks from people who are like, Tim, I'm working hard. I'm working my way up. I got my 9 to 5, in 10 years, I hope to save enough money in the stock market. And it's like, no, working hard, but with the right strategy, with scalable strategies. And that's why when I highlight these students who made 90 bucks, it's not about the $90 they made. It's about learning how to trade. You want to really practice good habits right now that are scalable so that when you do have a bigger account, ideally, when either you save up or better yet, if your account grows, then you can use those same exact kinds of principles that you had when you had a small account. I was telling my Trading Challenge webinar today, it's okay to be under the pattern day trader rule. I'm going to be under the pattern day trader rule next year when I start with just $12,000 on January 1st using E-Trade and Interactive Brokers. That is fine. You don't need to trade as much as you think you do. Brokers don't like me because I say that. Degenerate traders don't like me because I say that. Don't use leverage. That really pisses off a whole bunch of action seekers and thrill seekers in the trading world. I am not a fun trader. I look at this as a business. I only want to take advantage of trades where the odds are on my side. That is why I win more than I lose, and even when I do lose, the losses are smaller than my wins. So it's very difficult when you win more than you lose, and every single dollar gain or most dollar gains are bigger than most of your dollar losses. Sometimes I break my rules, sometimes I'm undisciplined, but the majority of my trades, I'm on the right path. I have the right perspective, I have the right mindset, and that is why my account keeps going up year in, year out. One serious note I got to talk about right here. I am hearing about another broker that stole customer money similar to this guy, Oliver Velez, who I wrote about a few years ago. And I will get more details on this in the coming days. I'm just hearing a few reports right now, but it's going to keep happening. You really got to be careful with these brokers, and that is why I'm really excited to just go with E-Trade and Interactive Brokers next year. No sketchiness, no risk. You got to watch out for these brokers. And don't worry, it's not like, any stockbroker. You don't need to go all crazy. It's actually a Forex broker. So it has nothing to do with most people. But it is still another example when you have these kind of shady brokerages, they can just take their money like that. And, when you open an account, you fill out 100 forms and they'll use those forms against you in court. I heard that Oliver Velez paid back some of the people, and some of the people still have not been paid back. So it's a fight, and even if you don't win in the court of law, there's the court of public opinion. So if you do get taken advantage of by a broker, I suggest you talk about it on social media and try and save other people. But E-Trade and Interactive Brokers, those are my only two brokers to start 2016. Both are big brands, and they probably will not steal my money. Also, this is a good tweet. I don't get people who don't strive for greatness. I know that some people are like, you shouldn't talk about millionaire. All these people who have $2,000 to their name, they shouldn't be thinking about $1 million. And that's stupid. Of course you should be. You should be striving for greatness. You have one life. How can you not want to make the most of it? If you're getting into trading, how dare you ever aim small? I always say aim small, miss small on every trade. But in the grand scheme of trading, you get into this industry to get rich. Okay? And I'm sick of these people who are like, you shouldn't talk about money. It's for the challenge. It's the philosophy. Screw that. Okay? The challenge, the philosophy, that's great. You learn a lot. I'm not taking anything away from that. But the reason you get into the stock market is to get rich. And as I pointed out, several professors like Latham and Locke, if you look them up and you talk about performance and goal theory, goal setting, it's all about having big goals. So strive for greatness. I'm not saying you're going to turn 2,000 into a million all at once, okay? Not everybody is Tim Grittani, but it is possible if you have the right strategy and if you have enough dedication over several months and over several years. That is why I focus on this stuff. If you look at my Instagram, you know, I'm showing off my new Ferrari, which is a blast. This is a pool in Capri, Italy. Here's my Ferrari at night. Here's a beach in Turks and Caicos. Here's one of my favorite cups of tea. It was International Tea Day. So I posted this. This was in Bali. This was like the best green tea frappuccino. I want to show you what you can do and what you can have if you study hard enough, if you want it bad enough, and if you sacrifice. I don't think you guys realize how much I sacrifice. Like, it looks like I'm like, oh, you're living the life, Tim. Yeah. I sacrificed for years before I could ever afford to go to Bali. I sacrificed for years. I did not go out with friends. When I was in college, I took night classes so that I could trade and learn during the day. Okay, I was with all the weird ESL kids at night and like people who worked during the day and then they would study at night. So I wasn't with like the normal college kids. All my friends went to normal college, but I sacrificed. And guess what? That is what you're going to have to do. I know a lot of students who are like, I have a full-time job, I have school, I can't trade. So what? You can always study at night. Too many of you think that, oh, you have to work or you have to study during the 9 to 5, this mystical time barrier. That's ridiculous. You can study at any time of day that you want. And some of my best students study for an hour, just an hour at night, Don't watch Big Bang Theory. Don't watch, I don't know, what's even on TV. I haven't even caught up on TV shows, okay? Don't watch one TV show per night. If you want to go to Bali and drink green tea frappuccinos like this, and I want to show you visuals because I'm not that smart. There's no reason that I should be here. Here's my fiance in Positano. This is one of the best meals in the world at Le Serenus. So I'm going to keep showing you these visuals. I'm going to keep trying to inspire you. This was one of the best nights, going to the UFC fight. I've never been to a UFC fight. I don't like blood. I don't like violence. But the energy in this crowd was incredible. And we got floor seats. I'm like sitting a few rows back. Ridiculous. Here's a jet that I like to take, Screw taking commercial planes. Here's Portofino, Italy. Get inspired by this and strive for it and use that. And I know that I rant a little too much, but the number one problem that students have is not that you have to listen to my rants, is that you're not studying enough of the DVDs, you're not studying enough of the video lessons, you're not having the right expectations. You're thinking that every morning spike is going to be something amazing. Even though, I have tons and tons of videos, tons and tons of DVDs showing you what is a good trade, what is a bad trade, what is a mediocre trade. You have to have the right expectations if you want to go to places like this. It's not going to happen overnight. Here is Kieran. I like this. I think I said this during my challenge webinar. And I said, I know money can't buy happiness, but it can buy a hell of a good time. And I barely share my life. Some people think I overshare. If you knew half or even a third of the things that I do, it might motivate you more. But I do like some privacy. I'm trying to, inspire you, but I also have to just stay a little private just so that I live. I love meeting you guys in person and students and stuff like that, but as sometimes, I have to live my life a little bit too. But the main takeaways today is that it's okay for a morning spike to fail. And just because a morning spike fails doesn't mean that, I'm going to be tempted to buy it. When a morning spike fails, I'm not tempted at all. ARRY, I wasn't tempted at all to buy this. JRJC, I wasn't tempted to buy or short this. It's got to clear this hurdle at 650-ish. This is a massive hurdle. And also, I want you to look back at prior charts. Today, 650 was resistance multiple times. You can see that, right? Why 650? Well, if you go back to the daily chart, it's a breakout over 100 days. But if you look at 200 days, guess what? There's massive resistance right here. This is in June. This is in May. This is in March. And then you even have resistance here at 670 in early March. So it's tough for these stocks with a lot of resistance to really break out. This is a choppy stock. It might break out, it's an earnings winner, but you can't expect perfection on imperfect charts. This is not a perfect breakout. The best breakout that we saw was ERII, above this 770 level, and it did eventually get to 9, but even now it's lower because this is an oil play and oil is kind of screwed right now. But, focus on clean looking charts. And if there's no clean breakout, don't expect too much. And remember, you don't have to trade. So I'll see you guys in the chat room. I see some interesting plays. I'll put them in the watch list later tonight. Thank you.
My name is Tim Sykes, and I teach people to trade stocks. I am a self-made multimillionaire.
So this is the ideal trade that I'm going to talk about. I want you guys to understand every single aspect of this trade.